Welcome to Cooking with Dragons. My name is Rourke, and today I'm making the Ranchero Melt. This is going to be kind of a twist on a popular viral burger that I kind of don't feel like saying the name of because I'm not really comfortable with that name, but I'm going to be making a sort of ranch powder without dried buttermilk powder, so that's the only thing that's going to be missing from this ranch. But I have sour cream, so that should help it a good bit. So I'm going to be adding a little bit of dill pickle, some parsley, some freeze-dried chives, which I'm going to just crumble up a little bit, some onion powder, mustard powder, paprika, and cayenne powder, just for pepper, just for a little bit of kick, and some lemon pepper. And then once that's all mixed together, I'm going to mix it with some of this sour cream, and then I'm going to be combining it with going to put about this much chorizo in with this beef, which I'll also be mixing some cheddar cheese, some sharp cheddar cheese with that, and in with that sour cream and ranch mix. And that should be good. And I'm going to be putting it on this garlic cheddar cheese bread, which I got it from the Dutch market. Pretty good stuff. Should be great for a melt. All right, there's what we got. Just gonna give it a little mix. Give it a little bit of a crush. Not your typical ranch, because I don't have the buttermilk powder, but like I said, the sour cream is going to hopefully carry most of the weight. But you can also get your own, you can also just get the Hidden Valley Ranch stuff, that works too, but if you got the seasoning on hand, you might as well. Alrighty, now it's time to get the burger stuff ready. Alright, so now on to the next step. So now I got my chorizo and my beef ready to go. This is also beef chorizo if I didn't say before. So, a thing with sour cream whenever you're combining it this way with burger meat, the sour cream actually tends to break down the proteins of the beef. So, in order to keep it a little bit more binded, I'm going to add an egg to it, and then yeah. So we're going about a couple tablespoons or so of each of cheddar cheese and sour cream, but you can use as much or as little as you want. Just I'm just kind of eyeballing it. So yeah. Alrighty, so just taking a nice, good wooden spatula, and I'm just kind of working it in together. But you don't want to overwork it, cause yeah. And then once we get that sour cream and the egg in there with that cheese, we're gonna let it rest for about 10-20 minutes, and then we'll let it firm up in the fridge for that long, is what I meant to say, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so now I'm gonna add that seasoning. Like a nice meatball. I'm gonna add the cheese next. I'm gonna add the sour cream and the egg last. Okay. I like to add the whey to it a little bit. That just helps it out a little bit, I think. Yeah. Alright, gonna crack this egg right into this bowl here. That way it can kind of soak up the leftover of the seasoning. And give that a little bit of a whisk. After removing the eggshells, of course, if any get in there, like I did. But yeah. And then I can save that egg for compost. And then yeah. Alrighty. Make a little bit of a well for the egg. Alright. Finally, sour cream. Sour creme. Good dollops. That should do. I'll mix that in there. Alrighty, now the last thing that I gotta do, just gonna portion it out, and I'm gonna put it onto this tray lined with some plastic wrap, and I'm gonna throw it in the fridge for about 20 minutes, and then that should be good. Alrighty, here's what we got. Not a very pretty sight at the moment, but you know, once they hit the cast iron skillet and get to cooking, they'll have a nice crust on it, and then yeah. Alrighty. So now it's been about 20 minutes, and those burgers are ready to go. And for cheese, I'm gonna go with the Colby and a little bit of Swiss, and then I'm gonna throw some beef tallow in there. That'll give it a nice crust. So yeah, should be good. Alrighty, we got them going nicely. So another tip with these is don't move them around too much. Just flip them when you know they're ready, because these are pretty delicate at the moment. So you don't want to try smashing them down too much, because they will fall apart pretty easily. So yeah, just grab like a thermometer. Just make sure you know when they're done. So decided to mandolin up a few onion slices as well, just to give it some onion bite. Gonna put those on there now. A little bit of Hatch chili seasoning for the onions. Gotta season your onions and your tomatoes. Heck yeah. Alright, time to give it another flip. No, just kidding. Might need a few more flips, but you know. Alrighty, here's what we got so far. Got the three of them nicely resting a little bit while the fourth one is getting done. And I decided to turn the oven on, so I'm gonna finish baking these in the oven. That'll make it the melt. So yeah. I'm gonna top it with those onions. Yeah. Alrighty, it's the final countdown. The last stage is just throwing into the oven for about 10 minutes. Then we should be ready to eat. Alright, and here we have the Ranchero Melt. Alright, time to crown it up. Hopefully it won't slide off the bun, but it probably will, because you know that's kind of how that goes. Alrighty, here we have once more the Ranchero Melt. Should be good. Yeah. Got my wax paper to make it easier to pick up. Alright. You could also wrap it up and cut it in half. That might make it easier too, but you know, whatever is comfortable. Alright, let's take a bite. That's a restaurant quality melt right there. Got an insane cheese pull there. Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty much. It is easier to cut these in half, but you know, I'm just eating it whole like this just because I don't feel like it. Yeah, you get a nice onion flavor, and the chorizo kicks in there too. Garlic cheddar cheese bread kicks it up another notch too. Here's the inside of it. Not as good as the cross cut, but yeah, A little bit of red in there, but you know it's fully cooked. Always good to take a thermometer to it, make sure. But yeah. Alright. The Ranchero Melt. Check it out. Thank you for watching. My name is Rourke for Cooking with Dragons. We explore the world of food. You next time and keep on feeding the fire.